Good morning guys, how are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we will go straight over to those charts. So yeah, not much to report here. Bitcoin on the 4-hour, you can see we are in we're in a clear pennant. It's kind of one of those pennants that I get a sneaky feeling we're just gonna keep trading sideways out of. I could draw the triangle in, and I will actually draw it. I will draw basically the triangle of the pennant that we are currently in. But yeah, like I said, I suspect, obviously I'm also biased by it being the weekend, and I always have this, I always have a weekend sideways price action bias. But yeah, I think it's one of these where we're just going to end up trading sideways within this range until we eventually make a decision to break upwards or downwards. So yeah, keep an eye on that. But obviously, look on the face of it, looking at it, it's a clear bull flag and a pennant or symmetrical triangle would be a continuation pattern for the statistical likelihood direction. But yeah, we have got the target drawn in around 27k, so obviously we know that is there. We've got this trend line coming in as well, so we know that resistance is there. But yeah, so it is realistically a case of waiting to see what happens. What I would probably look to actually draw as a level is not necessarily the pennant, but probably these two horizontals here, this level here and this level here, and I think a break below there would then signal a move to the downside. Let's see if I can make these thinner. No, they're as thin as they go. And yeah, a break below here, then well, a break below here I would realistically firstly be targeting just the midpoint, and then potentially a bounce, and then to maybe hit back test that breakdown point and then come down, or to the upside, yeah, break above, and then, well, we're in uncharted upwards territory then, so we can realistically do whatever. But yeah, potentially come and back test that level, or even back test the support here, the resistance here, turn support. But yeah, my bias currently is sideways, and then into the trading week, unless the dollar just basically tanks even more, which it clearly can do. Then yeah, I mean, potentially we're just gonna at some point come back and back test 20k and then just trade out a range here. Obviously, if the dollar does come down towards basically has another leg down, it's gonna pretty much propel Bitcoin to the upside. But if the dollar stays where it is or has a slight retrace, which it could very well do, we've had quite the sustained move down. If you can see, this whole move down here is relatively akin to this move down here. Also this move down here, well, also this move down here, what then fully retraced and some. But yeah, so we are getting to the point where we could expect a medium-term consolidation stroke slightly upward drifting movement from the dollar, but in the context of a bear trend and a continuing macro bear trend. So that could pin Bitcoin basically within this 23 to 20k range. Yeah, that is clearly on the card, but obviously if the dollar breaks down, these are all just if buts and maybes, if this then that. So yeah, if we do break down in the dollar further, expect more upside. If we don't, and then this pennant, I mean, the textbook scenario, the textbook basically way to trade it would be on the breakout and then trade it in that direction. But I would be a bit cognizant of the fact it's the weekend, and potentially look for breakouts and candle closures above the actual recent highs, or the actual, not this is the recent lows, but the lows of this consolidation here. That's what I'm looking at there. But yeah, so we've seen the DXY looking weak. Stocks obviously looking good, holding up there. Looking great. Silver gonna beat Bitcoin to $30 before Bitcoin gets to 30k? Is it going to do that? Because remember, I have that bet on still, which I basically should have won, albeit for a few cents. But we are the race is now on. It is now looking pretty much, I would kind of say, for silver to do $4 or Bitcoin to do 7k from here, I would say it's definitely easier for Bitcoin to do 7k in all fairness. So yeah, statistically in my mind, this bet is not looking as good. as it did when I made it, or when I basically should have won it. But yeah, we'll see what happens anyway. Gold all the 8s. Well, it closed on all the 8s. Well, apparently it didn't, but anyway, yeah, gold as well. Well, can it break up? It's out of this channel now. I think realistically, if we get back up of here, 1940, then we are just going to new all-time highs for gold. What else should we look at? What else? Oh yeah, of course, the more important pair to look at. ETH US dollar, again, looking like Bitcoin. Pennant is going to do whatever Bitcoin does. And Ethereum Bitcoin looking like a bear flag as well. So that's not ideal, but you can see the jagged nature of how this chart likes to trade. So I wouldn't necessarily expect this just to play out as a bear flag and just continue collapsing downwards. If it does though, here's the target. But I would expect potentially some sort of a retrace, and if we do, could this be a higher low, and then could we take out these levels here to then put in a higher high, well, a higher high relative to here, and then ultimately higher than here, and then we could start to look really good, and we could start to look to try and establish ourselves back in this longer term channel, and that would be especially good for well, for Ethereum, not necessarily all altcoins. Bitcoin dominance as well. Well, Bitcoin dominance, just there you go. Altcoins are getting trashed. Broke to the upside. Is it going to be a higher low? Sorry, a lower high also, and then start to make a move back down? Well, we'll have to see. I suspect it will be, because I just think this is cooked. This is quite a significant move up. I mean, look at this. Look at this move down and then move all the way back up. What an absolute travesty this is, tricking everyone into altcoin season and then absolutely just wiping them out. So yeah, thanks for that DXY. Great stuff. But now can we now we've got everybody massively bearish, can we now break to the downside? And alts do go on a massive run when people are just basically giving up on them. So we'll have a quick whiz through the stochastics. Are they going to give us any real indication of where we could go this weekend? 4 hour pointing down, 12 hour starting to come down. 12 hour starting to come down. 10 hour there or thereabouts, looking to turn back up again. Daily up there, pointing upwards. 2 days looking like it's going to start to turn back up, which it is obviously at the moment, and it will at these levels with price action. 3 day looking good, and then the rest of them kind of holding up there. So yeah, mixed messages really. We just got to keep an eye on which way we break and the dollar, and just have a bias for just sideways price action over the weekend, but we shall see. So that is it, guys. Remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys later on today.